There are many reasons not to trust Justin Amash's independent move for the White House. And if you think it's independent, ask what he supports now versus what he supported 5 years ago. What's changed, why, and who's paying. But anyways, that you probably already guessed. What you didn't know is why, personally, I and other people from Grand Rapids are fed up with even hearing the name Justin Amash. This guy is somebody who told everyone locally at 45 Lake Michigan Boulevard that we would all have a nice rise up for the GOP, that this Freedom Caucus was going to come back and beat the people that you're seeing on your screen now. And unfortunately, what happened was the opposite. Look at the voting record for Justin Amash as it relates to how the people in his districts and in the state of Michigan would have wanted him to vote. This guy's far more authoritarian than we would have wanted. He did not necessarily support Obama with the Affordable Care Act, but let's look at exactly how he voted after it passed. When the Affordable Care Act passed, Obamacare had a couple different mandates. They had the independent mandate and the employer mandate. The employer mandate said if you work 30 or more hours a week, then they were required to provide health insurance for you as a full-time employee. What this did was say, well, hey, let's defer that and let's create this independent mandate, which is if you personally do not have insurance and your employer has not provided it for you, or you do not qualify, you are now mandated to buy it. Remember, this is the unconstitutionality part of this, that the Supreme Court ended up saying it is constitutional because it's a tax, which we've now since repealed. And recall that Justin Amash was not a part of the repeal effort. Let's see the Save American Workers Act. What did that do? Justin, because you voted yes for it. Can you defend that today? Let's read what that did. Oh, now instead of being 30 hours or 35 hours, now it's 40 hours. Which what that does is it creates a ton of extra hours needed for each individual person to actually get the benefit. So what you're going to have is two things happen. One, you have a bunch of employees who were working 45 hours a week because they already qualified for the insurance, and maybe they didn't, maybe they did get it, didn't matter. They were working 40, 50, 60 hours a week as a bartender, as a barback, as a server, as a hostess, etc. Now they're being told, now they legally have to have insurance for those hourly jobs. So those employers say, okay, well, I'll hire more hostesses, I'll hire more bartenders, I'll hire more restaurant people, and I'll just cut them all down to 25, 30, 35 hours a week. 30 hours a week is the max you can have so long as you're, okay, well, that's what happened to me in college. That's what happened to a ton of different people. So we know that this did not help anyone. It did not help a family, did not help anyone who was struggling to get by, gain insurance. It pushed people down into getting fewer hours. Let's see what else.
Do you ever worry that you're retarded and no one is telling you? Well, it's true.
Or look over at House Resolution 3762. You increase taxes on the private plans that are still in place. The guy has no idea what it means to say and do the same thing. You run and you get into office as, hey, I'm going to be part of the Freedom Caucus. I'm going to help bring back what it means to be an American. And then he gets in, he gets around the money, he gets around the swill and the swamp, and he decides, this is his announcement of, I'm going to explore the presidential committee. I'm going to put together I'm going to look and see. He's putting lines in the water because he knows he can't get reelected, not as an independent, not as a Republican. He can't get elected in Michigan, I don't think. He might have to move to the east side of the state to do that. So he's putting lines in the water. He's trying to get money. He's trying to get as many different donations as he can because he knows he doesn't have a job in Congress anymore after 2021 when he leaves. And so this is him. He's got like less than 400 views on a video as of this morning talking about how he's going to go out and do this. Why? And why did Trump say that he was the dumbest and most disloyal? So that's a big statement from POTUS or from anybody. That's a big statement. You have to imagine, for all that we know about what's going on with the president and the people closest to him and the people that are closest to being enemies of his, put it that way, Justin Amash must have been told. He must have been informed. We've got the goods on everybody, including you. So you play ball or you're in trouble. And maybe he has no one to have goods on. Maybe Justin Amash is clean and he's just stupid. And in which case, that would make a lot more sense for Donald Trump to come out and say, we know everybody who's done anything wrong in the last little while here, because all of the NSA records that Admiral Rogers kept, he has delivered to me. So thankfully, Trump has the goods on everyone, which is why no one's been able to do anything. No one's been able to put a glove on him, so to speak. He is impervious, untouchable, and every action the Democrats take backfires, torpedoes against them. So now you're watching Justin Amash had come out and said, well, I'm not going to be a Republican anymore because this two-party politics, this is so bad. We're going after each other. This is all. And you know what that is? It's CYA. It is, let me cover my ass because I know that I bet on the wrong horse. I bet on the deep state coup cabal evil entities around the world who want to destroy American freedom, and freedom all around the world for that matter. Hong Kong and everywhere else you see these yellow vest protests rising up around the world. You don't think that that's anything connected to do with this? So you don't think that Justin Amash is being paid to say these things?
Hey, have you guys seen this? We are getting blasted in the ass by the state liquor tax.
Oh. Blasted in the ass?
Mac, we have the same conversation every year. There's nothing you can do about taxes.
You guys might want to think about voting every once in a while.
What has voting ever done? Why are you coming down? Voting? Who am I supposed to vote for? Am I supposed to vote for the Democrats?
So now you can just imagine that, like, the people are D. Reynolds. We're just sitting there. We understand. Yeah, you vote. You vote for the people you want to represent you. And Justin Amash is being paid to sit on a bar stool and act like three idiots. Say, oh no, that doesn't help. Oh, it's just Republicans versus Democrats. Here, you should vote for me. Meanwhile, he's playing you into that hand. He's playing you into that game of just two. So here, I'll pretend to be independent, just like how Bernie was independent until it really mattered. He picked the evil coup cabal owned, operated, controlled, stupid opposition to freedom.
Who's going to blast me in the ass, or the Republican who's blasting my ass? Politics is just all one big ass blast.
You're gonna get your ass blasted.
Nationwide
You know
ass
what?
blasting.
No more. You guys are such morons. If you knew anything at all about politics, you would know that that is not true.
So, do you think that that's true? Do you think that it's simply Republicans versus Democrats? Could it have been that way for a long time as a puppet show ruse for the people that are pulling the strings that are all working together? I mean, when you go to the theater and you see the villain versus the hero, you're aware that they're actors. When you watch CNN, or even Fox for that matter, over the last couple decades, and you watch the people bicker and argue, and they make their point and you make your point, do you think that anyone's minds are changed, or do you think that they are putting half the sheep on one side of the field, half the sheep on the other, and every once in a while, as an exercise in a battle game, we'll run them at each other? So how do you make sure that you maintain control over all of that? You just make sure that you have a couple controlled mouthpieces in there being paid to say, oh, well, I was really just worried about what Donald Trump could do. I mean, I'm scared of, oh man, they told me I was safe and I had nothing to worry about because I had done nothing wrong. And the other people offered me a whole bunch of money and power and influence if I just corrupted and gave in on all of what I believe. So sorry, Grand Rapids, sorry, West Michigan, but my name's Justin Amash and I'm no longer with the Freedom Caucus. I'm no longer with the Republican Party. I'm no longer with American freedom at all. That's what he's saying to you. That's what he said. So Donald Trump said that he's the most disloyal and dumbest person in there. And I'd have to agree. You look at the bottom. He also says, by the way, this is last year, this is 2019. He's saying, I'm also, possibly going to be an independent and just run for the office myself. Do you think that it wasn't at that point when he announced he was for impeachment and he was leaving the Republican Party? Do you think that it wasn't at that point that someone said, they have you, Justin. We are paying you, or we have you, we have this on you, or something else. You're going to impeach him? You're going to be the only idiot out there neglecting all the facts, voting for impeachment as a Republican, you fucking idiot. So you're going to be that guy. Then you're going to be the guy that says, oh, I'm going to leave the Republican Party too, and I'm going to run to try to pull votes away from Trump as an independent. What have you done? What do they have on you? I really want to know. I want to know what they've got on you, Justin.
Deandra, it's just some jerk getting into office so he can get out for the payday.
Right, the guy's running for office. He's what payday?
I see it every year. I mean, some clown runs for office, drops out of the race, and gets a big chunk of dough. I mean, you have to be a real low-life piece of shit to get involved in politics.
This is one of the most important places in all of North America. Who are you? Who are you? You're everything that's gone wrong in this world. You're a self-consumed, no talent, mediocre piece of shit. You suck. You're a no talent. Shame on you.